I'm not going to hack your Wi-Fi, but I'll give you a little example of what I could do. So all of these networks here, they probably appear to be legitimate, right? It's very illegal to do that, of course. But if I wanted to go outside right now, I could even demonstrate later for you. They, I pull this antenna out. This is just a small antenna. And we can receive airplanes, see where they're at. There's nothing illegal about receiving them. Transmitting is where it gets a little bit funky.
Man, you are a dangerous man. Let's go through all the things that you personally could hack if you wanted to.
I mean, it's countless, but I could give you some major daily things.
Absolutely. Let's talk about some of the devices. Those devices you have right here. Let's talk about all the stuff you can hack into.
Sure.
And then we'll get into maybe how we can prevent that a little bit.
So I guess we'll just start with a daily routine. You wake up in the morning, you make your coffee, or maybe you take your phone off the charger and you check your phone in the morning. You might check your email. You got to make sure every email that you have while you're half asleep is coming from a real person. It's not a phishing email, someone pretending to be a company that they're not, stealing your credentials. Then you go outside to your garage, you get in your car, and you have to make sure that there's nobody out there listening for your car key frequency while jamming your car so that they could steal your car later or access your car later. And then when you go hit your garage door button, that somebody doesn't capture that frequency on 433 megahertz. And those rolling codes have already been broken for most of the models. So then you get in your car and you're driving to your office or to your kid's school, doing whatever you want. And you could get out, you let your kid out to school, and now somebody, as you walk into school, just skimmed your back pocket and stole your credit card information. So, I mean, all of that, plus, anything remote, infrared, like a TV remote that goes for projectors, audio devices, ceiling fans, very simple stuff, along with access control badges, anything sub-gigahertz, like key fobs or remote controls for anything. Parking gates, so much.
Everything.
Anything with a battery and a connection, a remote connection, in any type of way where it reaches the outside of that device is hackable or has been hacked.
What are these devices here?
This is a water bottle. So this right here is this is a Flipper Zero with some custom modifications. And it does a lot. So this is just a proof of concept device, but when you start to add your own little additions onto it like this, let me enable, for example, Wi-Fi. I'm not going to hack your Wi-Fi, but I'll give you a little example of what I could do. I'll just do something stupid, but... Okay, and then I'm not going to shut your network down. Okay, so now if I could show you on my phone, or you could look at your phone, but you'll see that instead of me mirroring your network, I just created a bunch of fake networks. So all of these networks here, they probably appear to be legitimate, right?
Yeah.
But they're not.
These are all fake networks?
They're all powered by me. So as soon as you connect to any of those, I have your password, I have anything in between. So that's one thing. That's just Wi-Fi.
And you just, oh man. Is this how people are stealing information?
This is one of many ways.
In airport.
In an airport? Oh yeah, airport, Starbucks, when you, it's called a man-in-the-middle attack. So if I'm on the same network as you, I can essentially control the traffic, as if I was the modem or router. So instead of when you type google.com, instead of your computer telling the router you want google.com, you're telling my computer you want google.com, and I'm giving you what I'm telling you google.com is. So that would be called a DNS attack. So,
is this what people are using in the airports when they're I mean,
Not this
I've heard
specific
about-
device. This is just something that I concocted together, but the flipper you can buy. This thing on the top here is custom.
I guess what I'm asking, is this the method? So could you, what is, like Wi-Fi flight or go-go?
Go in flight.
Yes,
Oh, well,
go-go.
they're actually. I mean, you can hack anything, but Go in flight they have a pretty good segment on their network, so you're pretty safe with Go. There's a chance of getting hacked, but not the same as like a Starbucks or here. Like, your network has to be segmented into chunks,
Okay,
and Go segments it pretty well.
okay. I guess what I'm saying is, could you create a fake Wi-Fi network with that thing that says go in flight 1?
Yeah,
Where
I could-
people are
I could
like,
do that
oh, that
now."
must be it.
I could do that here. I mean, I can make any. They're called SSIDs, the name of a network. You could do that with any name, but instead of that, what you do is you just scan the local area, and then I know all the networks names around here, and then I'll target all of them at the same time, so that way anyone in this complex or where we're at, anyone that connects to a network is going to think it's their network, and they're going to connect to me instead.
Holy shit.
That's just one of many Wi-Fi attacks. So there's many ways. for
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
what
That's
else
just-
can this thing do? This thing's like the size of the palm of your hand.
Yeah, well, with this little custom extension, especially when I have my big. These aren't the big antennas, but I got big antennas because I want to get long range. But that's Wi-Fi. This side of things is also Wi-Fi, but also it's an NRF 24, so it does wireless mice and keyboards. So if you use a wireless mouse and keyboard, not every single one of them is vulnerable, but a lot of them are. I'd highly recommend you go back to wired, even though it sounds old school. That's what you should do, because I could control your mouse and keyboard with this device and send keystrokes way faster than you can type them, and take over your computer without even having to see you or it. So I could do that through the wall.
This is scaring the shit out of me.
And then the sub-gigahertz stuff with bigger antennas, of course, I can go further away. So with the car keys, garages, gates, anything that's radio frequency, I could do with this. RFID, that's access control badges for doors and pool keys, anything that has like a little beeper where you beep into the door.
Yeah.
And NFC is credit cards and access control. And it does also some more things too. You could also I could tap your phone and give you my Instagram, or tap your phone and give you my business card. So NFC is a little more versatile than RFID, but they both essentially are, I believe it's called passive devices. They're powered by the receiver. They don't have a battery in them.
So let's just run through just a list of all the things you can hack with that one little device.
I mean, I don't want to make it into an ad about Flipper because it's not Flipper itself. I'll tell you, but I'm just saying that Flipper itself, if you're going to go online and buy one of these and expect to be able to do everything that I'm talking about, you need to have custom firmware or software, whatever you want to call it, that allows you to do that, and you need to know how to modify it. So don't go out spending $180 on this device thinking you're going to hack somebody's car or steal their credit card, because that's not going to happen. But if you want to go down the list, I mean, there's a ton of things. There's all the radio things I just told you about, the RFID stuff, the NFC, which is the credit cards and more, infrared, which is TVs, projectors, and many other devices, GPIO, which is just anything that connects to the outside of this device, so I can make devices work and this be the controller for it. iButton, which is a form of authentication that uses these things, these little metal prongs as a key. Bad USB, which emulates a keyboard, types a couple thousand words a second.
Wow.
Or I'm sorry, a minute. I'm sorry, 1,000 words, a couple thousand words a minute. And then it also has some use cases that aren't hacking, like two-factor authentication. This is a offline device where you can generate your two-factor without needing a device that's connected to the internet. So it does that too. And then there's a ton of other sub-applications that are on here, like hundreds of them that do little things. So a lot, just with this one device. This thing you know, it does just radio, but it does a lot more than this thing.
Really?
Yeah.
What does that one do?
This one you can hack airplanes with. I mean, that's an extreme, but that's something that you can actually accomplish with this using ADSB. You can choose to either receive or transmit. So you can choose to either receive or transmit ADSB with this device, and that's the frequency to tell a plane, you know, its call sign, position, and more. And it's very illegal to do that, of course. But if I wanted to go outside right now, I could even demonstrate later for you. You know, I pull this antenna out. This is just a small antenna. And we can receive airplanes, see where they're at. There's nothing illegal about receiving them. Transmitting is where it gets a little bit funky, you know. But yeah, ADSB, this one does a lot. Like something like a joke, for example, touch tunes at a bar. They're little jukebox machines that you pay for.
Yeah.
This device brute forces them, meaning goes through 000 to 9999 looking for a PIN code. And once it gets it, I can fully control that jukebox like I'm the owner of it. So, you know, just for fun. Or Subaru cars, some years of Subaru, I have this pre-programmed that can unlock and lock a Subaru, no problem. I could do that with this as well. But this thing, way stronger, bigger range, way more support, way more programs out there. This device is a lot more dangerous in my eyes than that device.
Really?
Yep.
Man, you are this is the fifth time I've said it, I think. You are a dangerous man. But
Well, I'm safe, you know, I'm ethical.
you could be if you wanted to be.
I'm trying to go into detail about these things just for the nerds out there like me that are listening. I'm not going into exhaustive detail about these devices because most people are not going to care. So I'm just giving the general overview.
Oh, I think they're going to care when they realize how vulnerable they are.
No, I don't mean they don't care about what they can do, but like care about the technical specifics.
Yeah.
You know?
We get a lot of pretty much everything that we have is from China.
Okay.
You know, all of our electronics, everything, it all, what do you say, 90% of it probably comes from China. Do you think we need to worry about what they're putting in our electronics?
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you one example. I bought this awesome vacuum and mop that's in one. It's an all-in-one vacuum mop called Tinico. And it completely connects to a Chinese server to transmit and receive information. Like I made a joke out of it. I actually have a video of it where you could turn the audio on for it. Like when you plug it in, it says charging started, charging stopped. Like when you put it on and off, I can control that with my computer through a Chinese cloud server. There's no reason that vacuum and mop should connect to a Chinese cloud infrastructure whatsoever, but it does. And at any point, they could change the way that functionality works and take over my home network with this vacuum mop. So,
Are you serious with a vacuum mop?
Yep. Yeah.
How many devices do you think have these things in them?
Anything with a Wi-Fi connection, it's, you know, not everything's going to be China beaconing back and forth, but anything with a Wi-Fi, you know, anything with Wi-Fi capability is going to open up, you know, an attack vector.
Washing machines, refrigerators, just why does a vacuum mop
I don't know.
Wi-Fi capability?
I'd love to tell you, but it's I have the video I could show you. I could find it sometime, but it's I have that, and then I have the app I could show you. I can adjust the volume. I could check when the last time I used it. Does it need to be cleaned? Does it, you know, it tells you all that stuff, but it's using a Chinese server that I can control from my computer now that I've captured the traffic between the mop and the server.
How many devices do you think we have that are connected to a Chinese server? And what would they be getting out of it?
I mean, it's all about data nowadays. So, I mean, I think that data is the most important thing to them because it's worth money. And advertising dollars would be spent better for, you know, with targeted demographics. So I think that they're using that information to target you on the stuff that you need. You know, if you or someone that you love is looking up something, obviously Google's going to figure out how to target you on that thing and then sell that data to other people, and they call it retargeting. Whereas if they have access to your direct network and they can see, things that you didn't even fully search out, or you're typing on a different application, like a chat application where you're not even searching about it, you're just talking about it, that data is very valuable because they know about something before Google does or some other large data broker.
Interesting. What are 5 simple things that people can do to protect themselves from hackers?
Use a password manager, install an antivirus, or consult with an IT company that has cybersecurity expertise, or a cybersecurity company. One of those many options, but talk to somebody unless you're an expert yourself. Use an RFID blocking wallet, and potentially, if you want to be extra safe, use a key fob that has an RFID shield on it. That way your key fob doesn't work outside of that shield, can't be cloned. Some cars require, tap to start. So, use something like that. Be careful with the websites that you're visiting. If the browser's telling you the site looks unsafe, then it's probably unsafe. And if if you're told otherwise, make sure who's telling you otherwise is legitimate. And, just be careful. I mean, just use your common sense. If something looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Okay, what about we live in a day and age where you're getting spam calls every 5 minutes, you're getting spam texts every 5 minutes, and a new marketing email's coming in every 2 minutes. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to worry about that stuff? If I open a text, could I be hacked just from opening the text?
Technically, yes. I mean, like I said earlier, the zero-click attacks that they're willing to pay a ton of money for, there's government agencies that already have them, There was one going around for quite a long time. Called Pegasus. And then there was another one called Pegasus 2.0. And it didn't require any user interaction from anyone. You would just send to a phone number. They'd have full remote access to your phone.
Even without opening the text?
Without opening anything.
Holy shit. How do you defend against something like that? Yeah.
You can't. There's no way to defend yourself. That's why they're so valuable, because there's nothing you can do.
How do most hackers get in? Do you have to click a link?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's a link, sometimes it's a file, sometimes it's a photo, sometimes it's a chain of exploits of multiple things that turn into it. It could be a Word document. It could be anything. When it comes to 0 days and zero-click exploits, it doesn't require any user interaction, and you will not know that your phone's infected.